spoiler alert, there's going to be lots of cute pets in this video. Thanks for joining me. Have you ever wondered if pet insurance is really worth it? Well, in today's episode, we are going to discuss pet insurance so that you have the pros, the cons, the tips, the hacks, so that you know exactly whether or not pet insurance will be right for you and your Dogo Argentino. It's Nicole. We are going to discuss what it is, how much it may cost, the pros, the cons, so that you can make an informed decision as to whether pet insurance is what you need for your Dogo Argentino. So let's dive right in. Okay, so pet insurance, what is it? It is basically medical coverage similar to health insurance for a human, only it's for a pet. You might need pet insurance if you have an accident like a broken bone, or if you need a surgery. Imagine your Dogo swallows a rock. There are two types of pet insurance. There is comprehensive, which is going to be more of your full coverage insurance that's going to cover entire systems like the gastrointestinal tract or the musculoskeletal system. And then you have more accident-based policies, and those would cover things like a hit and run. How does pet insurance work? The younger your Dogo Argentino is, the cheaper your premium will be. So if you're a worrier, get insurance while the baby is young. Now, the way pet insurance works is you pay up front. So you do have to pay either with a credit card, cash, however you would normally pay that vet bill, and then you're going to submit your claim and you will be reimbursed about a month to a month and a half later, depending on the insurance. How much you're reimbursed has to do with your policy, what your premiums are, what your deductible is, and do you have any policy limits or is it an excluded condition? The cost will be affected by factors like where you live, the age of your pet, which is why if you think insurance is for you, getting it younger is way better than getting it older, because generally speaking, most insurance companies will not accept a pet that's over 7 years old. Having pre-existing conditions may or may not be covered depending on your insurance. So certain genetic conditions like hip dysplasia might be excluded or might not. Make sure you read the fine print. Do remember that pet insurance is not going to provide immediate coverage for you and your Dogo Argentino. So don't think, oh my goodness, my pet has a condition, I need an operation like now. Let me go ahead and submit that insurance and then it'll be covered. That's not the way it works. There is a waiting period. Depending on the insurance company, it can be a month. So if you go to the vet and the puppy is diagnosed with an immediate need for surgery and you have it done before the waiting period is over, not going to be covered. Let's talk about the pros and cons of pet insurance. First, let's look at the cons. First of all, it can be expensive, and you might be better off, depending on the age and whether your Dogo Argentino has any pre-existing conditions, having a high interest savings account instead. So depending, it might be too expensive. Some genetic conditions might not be covered, like hip dysplasia. You need to read the fine print. If you have a pre-existing condition, it's likely not to be covered. So for example, certain lines of Dogo Argentinos suffer terribly from allergies. You would want to know whether that was something that was not covered by your policy before you sign up for that policy. Of course, the big con, you still have to pay up front and submit your claim later. In terms of cost, pet insurance can run anywhere from $120 per year to $1,200 or more per year. Just depends on which company you go with and what type of coverage you ask for, what type of deductible, and also what type of policy limit there is in terms of the coverage of very serious conditions like cancer. Of course, I think the ultimate benefit of pet insurance is peace of mind, especially with hunting dogs like Dogo Argentinos, who are more likely to become injured in an accident out in the field. Ultimately, pet insurance can save your Dogo Argentino's life, and I think that is a wonderful pro that is hard to put a price on, to be honest. If you're a worrier, you know you can take your dog in and have it examined, and the majority of that cost is going to be reimbursed for you, even if it is a month or a month and a half later. Because Dogo Argentinos are prone to both joint damage, accidents, injury, and in some cases allergies, I really think that there is quite a lot of pros to pet insurance. So some of the important things you need to know about pet insurance include: what's your deductible? What's the policy limit on a single incident? For example, if your dog had cancer, is there a limit of $10,000? Is there no limit whatsoever? Is it $20,000? Almost every pet insurance policy is going to have a policy limit, and that is going to tell you what the total amount they will pay towards any particular condition. Naturally, you need to know what the premium is and how they're willing to accept payment for the premium, whether they want to electronically deduct it from your checking account to make sure that they're getting paid, whether they accept checks. These are things that you want to know before you sign up for a particular policy. You might want to know whether you are better suited for an accident-only policy or full comprehensive coverage. And almost all companies offer at least 2, if not more, levels of insurance. Obviously, the cheaper ones are going to have fewer things that are covered. The more expensive ones are going to be more comprehensive in their coverage, and they're going to allow you a greater sense of peace of mind. So what's the verdict? Is pet insurance for you? I think, generally speaking, that pet insurance is a great idea if your Dogo Argentino does not have pre-existing conditions that are already been diagnosed, like allergies. I think it's a great idea if your Dogo is young. I think it's a great idea if you hog hunt with your Dogo. I think that ultimately pet insurance, if you can afford it, is a very great option. But consider the total annual cost. If you're paying, just as an example, $1,200 a year for insurance, could you set up a high interest savings account that would cover that same amount and then have no limitations? If you're dedicated and disciplined and able to save in that way, I think that a savings account can actually work better for people because, of course, you're earning some amount of interest on the money that you're paying. The problem with having a savings account, though, is if something happens before you fully fund that savings account, let's say you want to fund to $15,000 and something happens when you've got $2,000, then you're on the hook for that. But ultimately, I personally do think that pet insurance is a good idea, and there are tons of different companies, everyone from the American Kennel Club, and lots of different companies offer it. Let me let you know, this is not a sponsored video. This is not an affiliated video. I have no stake in whether you get pet insurance or not. This is just my personal opinion on the subject. Now, of course, my channel is tiny, and this is a very specific breed-specific channel. If you want to help me out, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. These are the things that help the algorithm let other interested parties know that we exist, because we're teeny tiny. And in order for a teeny tiny specific content maker to survive, we need your help with that. So let me know whether you think pet insurance is a good deal in the comments below. Thank you, and have a Dogo-tastic day.